Hello, you're here with Miss Libby Rose, and today I'm in the kitchen rather than the sewing room for a change. So as many of you know, in my blogs and in a lot of the work that I do and a lot of the social media that I post, I do talk about mindfulness quite a lot. So I talk about sewing for well-being, I talk about how we can use crafts and sewing to really sort of give us that feel-good factor. I know from studies that they show that using your hands and doing crafts and colouring and arts and all sorts really helps with our everyday well-being and everyday feel-good factor. But what I've been looking at this year as well, since the beginning of the year, is really looking at the food I eat as well as keeping a mindful practice. So I started swimming again. So I've been swimming for about the past year, almost every day. So I make sure that I do that. Do a bit of meditation when I can. I do meditation in the morning and the evening. Sometimes that doesn't always work, but I do try and put in as many meditations as I can as well in my day. Of course, sewing takes up a lot of my day. But also I wanted to look at food too. So in these series and in these videos, I'm going to look at different types of food that we can eat. And there is a whole thing about foods for moods that you can look at. I've got many books on it now, and I've sort of dabbled in it quite a lot. But since moving to the forest and moving to my forest studio, I've become vegetarian as well. So actually just pescatarian because I do eat fish. But I've cut out a lot of meats from my diet, and being Italian, that is no mean feat. So I'm quite used to having quite meat-rich foods, but I have cut all of that out. I've stuck to fish because I love fish, but also I get a bit of eczema and things, so I do like to keep the fish in my diet. But aside from that, I've really upped my vegetable intake, and I have looked a lot at different foods that can help us and just help with mindfulness, help when we get the old brain fog and that sort of thing. So, and I was sure that there was something that we could do in the food we put into our body that can help us. Now I do know that if you up your water intake, that helps too. So I have like a bottle of water that I refill all the time to make sure that I'm hydrated a lot too. And when you're doing arts and crafts and sewing, you do a lot of sitting. So I know that in one of my blogs I was talking about how sitting on the ball. So I've started, so I sit nicely on the ball rather than on a chair, just to really help with my posture. So I'm doing that. And also what I want to talk to you today about is juicing. So every morning, and I really try without fail to do this every morning. So when I'm away, I'll take my juicer with me. So I invested in a Philips juicer, and this is one of those like whole juicers. So it's got this big top at the top, so I can chuck, a whole apple in there and a carrot's whole, and because I really wanted to, if I'm going to do this, I want to make it as easy as possible. And a lot of my friends have said, oh, I've tried juicing, but the washing up is just awful. But if you want to get into it, do have a bit of research and see ones that are easy clean. I've got this Philips one is an easy clean one, so I find it so easy. And if I can get my meditation, my swim and my juicing done, before I even have time to think about it, that's great by me, because that means that I can get on with my day and I haven't had to think too much. So then it's looking at what sort of vegetables and fruit that you could use that would really help with anything that you're missing in your diet. So I've got, every day I put ginger in there. Now, rightly or wrongly, I don't know. I'm no expert in any of this, but I certainly am giving it a go. And I try and read up on it as much as I can, and as well watch YouTube things, and just really, really trying to keep an eye on it, and anything that I can do with my food, or even just the juice at the start of the day that's going to help me with a boost along, is good by me. So I love carrots, so I'll always put a few carrots in there, and all I do is just scrub the carrot. So I just use like a scourer that I just use for veg, and I just scour off just the top of the just the top of it. So rather than peeling it all off, I just give it a good old scrub, and I sometimes put a few of those. Today I'm just putting in 1 carrot. I've got a massive lump of ginger that I've already put in there, so I'll throw my carrot in there too. Now pineapple, I don't use pineapple every day because I know I don't want to, for me, I don't want to have too many high sugar things, but I know that pineapples are real feel-good food as well. So I just cut the outside of the pineapple off. So I'm just getting all that skin off. And so I cut all that down. And then I just need to really slice it in half, and that will go in. So I've got some big lumps of ginger that I've just cut off the skin of the ginger on. I've thrown those in. A carrot, big lump of pineapple, and I've just cut some celery and washed that down, and I'm going to put 3 sticks of celery in there. Now this is going to give me a nice big intake of what fruit and veg I need for the whole day. So then from then on I can snack, I can have like nice little salads or maybe some eggs or something today, but I know that I already this morning have had this much in my already. So I just flick it on and turn that down. It's a bit loud. So when I push it all down, it's just coming into the jug. My celery in. I just keep it going a little bit longer just to make sure that it's all come out. And then I've got a nice big bit of juice that I can start, and I'll just drink that down for my day. Now with this, I'm not sponsored by Philips or anything, but I just really like this juicer because I find it really easy to use and to clean. So all it does, it just clips on done, and all of these bits come off, and then I can just wash. Now this is the really important thing to wash, and you don't leave this bit to soak. So this is the bit that kind of makes all the juice happen. I just like quickly wash all of that with a bit of washing up liquid, but just quickly clean all of that, and then don't leave that one to soak. The other bits you can leave to soak. You can even throw those in the dishwasher, like when I stay at my friend's house. She's got a dishwasher, so we just throw like the plastic bits in there, and that gives it a nice old clean. Then this is all the pulp that's come out. So I just put that into my compost bag, and that just goes out to compost. Now, when I stay with my other friends in Cornwall, that kind of can go out to the chickens or can go out to in their garden. But for me, we have a collection of compost, so I just throw all of that into the compost bag, and then that gets taken away and biodegraded. So that is one of my morning routines, and I am going to be doing, I'm going to promise myself to do this, but I'll be doing more about bits of food and sort of different recipes as well, especially vegetarian and fish recipes, just to show you different ways that you can easily cook and make things healthy but nice as well. That's the main thing. We want it to be delicious too. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon, either in the sewing room or in the kitchen. Bye for now.